everyone, I'm Jake. Welcome to our channel. And the topic for today's video is AINP, Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program. Now this plan has been getting a lot of attention in the year 2019 and there are two primary reasons for that. Number one, the low CRS score, as low as 300. All you need is a score of 300 CRS to even qualify to get nominated for AINP. And the second important reason that I personally feel is that there is no additional fees for AINP. All you pay is the fees that you have to pay for creating your express entry profile for getting PR for Canada. Unlike other PNP programs like OINP, Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, where there is an additional fees of 1,500 to 2,000 Canadian dollars, which is a lot of money, I personally feel is unfair. But in case of AINP, you don't pay any additional fees, which is a very good news. In this video, I will provide you all the information that you need for AINP, the eligibility criteria, and then what are the factors that can actually affect your processing of the application. Also, I will provide you with the list of probable occupation that Alberta might be looking at to send notification of interest towards the end of the video. Make sure you watch the full video. Also, I will share with you some encouraging facts and statistics about the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program in the year 2019 to solidify your decision about thinking about coming and living and working in Alberta. So let's start this informational video right away with what is AINP. Now, Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program has many streams, but in this video, I will be specifically targeting Alberta Express Entry stream because most of my viewers and subscribers I know are looking for the Alberta Express Entry stream. So let's start with what is AINP Express Entry stream. The Alberta Express Entry stream allows the government of Alberta to nominate a limited number of candidates from the IRCC's Express Entry pool. The candidates who have expressed the desire to live and work in Alberta permanently and who can actually help the government of Alberta in the economic development of Alberta and diversification process. Now the only thing to consider here is that you cannot directly apply to Alberta for the Immigrant Nominee Program. Only the government of Alberta will decide whether you are even applicable for that or not through your express entry profile. The government of Alberta will scan your express entry profile and analyze that whether your required skills, education level and work experience is suitable for the province of Alberta. Now, for your express entry profile to be even scanned and analyzed by the province of Alberta, first and foremost thing that you need to do is that while filing your application, in the options section, select Alberta as the province where you want to immigrate to and work in. Now, you have an option of either selecting all the provinces or just Alberta. My personal advice to you is that by using the CRS calculator, I will provide the link in the description for the CRS calculator. Calculate your CRS and find out what is it. If it's obviously coming below 430, 420 or even 400, then it's advisable to select Alberta as your province because Alberta is the only province which is giving CRS as low as 300. After your profile has been thoroughly scanned and analyzed by the government of Alberta, they will send you a notification of interest and that's the point where you will be eligible to apply for AINP. For the new immigrants, two of the most popular cities in the province of Alberta are Edmonton and Calgary. For many decades now, oil and natural gas production has been the main driver of Alberta's economy, but now the government is focusing on information technology, health services and other industries as well. Now I will provide you some encouraging facts about the AINP and the success of AINP in the year 2019. These numbers are accurate as of 16 July 2019. Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program can issue up to 6,000 nominations for the year 2019. This limit is set by IRCC, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. 3,088 nominations have been issued so far in the year 2019. Half of the year is still remaining. Approximately 1659 applications still awaits the assessment for eligibility. Of the total 14 draws held in the year 2019, 3 draws sent notification of interest to candidates with CRS score as low as 300, which is amazing. The largest Alberta Express entry stream draw was held on 5th of March and it invited or sent notification of interest to 473 eligible candidates. Now I will show you on the screen the number of invitations and CRS score to find the common CRS score which has been most common throughout the year 2019. Have a look. On January 10, 2019, 337 notification of interest was sent. Lowest score invited 300. January 25th, 81 NOIs, lowest score 301. Feb 1st, 168 NOIs issued, lowest score 301. Then towards the middle of the year, March 5th, 2019, 473 NOIs issued with CRS 400. March 12 again 462, CRS 400. Then you can see when we move little further down on April 9, 2019, again 172 NOIs issued, CRS 300. So these stats and facts are actually very encouraging for people with low CRS, but they still want to come to Canada and get the permanent residency. So now let's move further ahead and talk about the eligibility criteria for the AINP to receive the notification of interest. Number one, you must have an active express entry profile in the federal express entry pool. Number two, you must express an interest of immigrating permanently to Alberta. As I mentioned earlier in the video, when you prepare your express entry profile, that is the time when in the options section you can specifically choose Alberta as a province that you want to immigrate to and work in. Number three, you are currently working in an occupation which is relevant towards Alberta's economic development and diversification. As I mentioned earlier, the government of Alberta will only send you notification of interest if they find your work experience and skills level eligible and suitable for the province of Alberta. Number four, the most important and relevant eligibility criteria for all of you is the minimum CRS score is only 300. So this was the basic eligibility criteria. Now in addition to this, if you have some of these more golden feathers in your hat, you stand even a better chance of getting the NOI from Alberta. So which are these? Number one, if you already have a job offer in Alberta or work experience in Alberta, the government of Alberta is going to give you preference. Number two, if you are a graduate from Canadian post-secondary institution, you will get the preference. Number three, if you have a relative who is living in Alberta, it could be your parent, your child, brother or sister, anyone, if you have those relatives in Alberta, then you stand a better chance of getting the NOI. So these were some of the additional factors which can get you the NOI preference, but like every coin has two sides, so even this coin has a flip side. So there are some factors which can actually decrease the possibility of you getting NOI. Which are those factors? Number one, your express entry profile expires in 3 months or less. Number two, you are working in the occupation which is on the list of high wage or low wage occupation in the province of Alberta. Now, I actually don't understand this condition, but I will show you on the screen the list of those occupations. You can read it on your screen right now. You can pause the video and check it properly. Number three, you are working in an occupation that has a high volume of applications throughout the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program stream, which means that there are lots of application and your process might take longer or might get rejected as per the preferences given by the government of Alberta. So this was the basic of the Alberta Immigrant Nominee Program eligibility criteria. Now it goes without saying that if you have an express entry profile or if you are creating an express entry profile, then you know the eligibility criteria for the Federal Skilled Worker Program. The education level, the CLB 7 in IELTS and the required work experience of 1 year or more, and the age factor and your medical certificate, police clearance certificate, all those things are mandatory. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, that I will provide you with the list of occupation which is in demand in Alberta. This list is based on the previous draws. The notification of interest was sent in these particular occupation. Now there's one important point I want to tell you, that the government of Alberta never releases the in-demand occupation list when they send the NOI. So you never know at present or in the current situation which occupations are in demand. It's like on the need to know basis, you will get to know when you get the NOI, as simple as that. But based on previous draw, I'm going to share a list of occupations so you get a fair idea if your occupation is going to be in demand or not. So let's have a look at the list of probable occupation in demand in Alberta on your screen. So as you can see on your screen, NOC 6211, retail sales supervisor, skill level B. NOC 7511, transport truck driver, skill level C. NOC 6015, cleaning supervisor and skill level B. So I have provided you this list on the screen. You can pause the video and check it if your occupation is there in demand in Alberta or not. Now let's move further ahead and understand the processing of the application. What are the factors that can actually delay your application? So the number one factor which can affect the processing your application is the demand or the volume of occupation, the submission of application in that particular occupation. So I'm just going to give you the list of occupation in which the application process might take longer. If you are in this list, then you will have to be very patient and wait for your NOI. Now the list says that AINP has a high volume of applications and Alberta Express Entry submissions in the following occupation. These submissions may take longer to process. NOC code 6322 cooks, 6311 food service supervisors, 2132 mechanical engineers, 0621 retail and wholesale trade managers, 6211 retail sales supervisors. So as per the AINP, these are the occupation in which lots of applications are going and the processing might take longer. So now, what are the other factors? The other factors that can actually impact your application processing times are: the most common factors considered in AINP application processing include application quality, whether your application is complete, the eligibility, the outdated application information or document. All these factors are very relevant. So be careful about filing all your legit documents properly. Then there's labor market information. So basically, if your occupation is in high demand at that time in Alberta or not, even that impact the processing of your application. Also, the date the application was received is important. That the minute you get the NOI, as soon as possible, be the early bird, send your application on time, don't delay it even by 1 day. After receiving that NOI, you must immediately ASAP on the urgent basis email the copy of that letter to the government of Alberta on this email ID. Within 2 weeks of receiving this NOI in your Express Entry profile stream, don't delay it. You must also provide your Express Entry profile number and status information. The AINP will then confirm your information and might send you an email requesting you to file the application, including a form to fill out and a document checklist listing all the required documents that you need to send them. Once your paperwork is complete with AINP, you will get additional 600 points in your Express Entry profile and you will receive the ITA, the invitation to apply towards permanent residency. Within 60 days, you must apply to IRCC for your permanent residency visa, and that's how you will land in Canada and start living your new life. So this was my take on AINP. Let me know in your comment section what are your thoughts. If there is any further confusion or if any of you have more information, kindly share it with the community. Help each other grow, and I'll see you next time with another PNP program. Bye.